Hey everyone, it's Ekayani. How are you? We're having a very rainy June, aren't we? So I felt this was an appropriate time to talk about water in relationship to our food supply. And you'll see behind me there's a map of the United States, and that's very apropos because I want to point out to you uh, a wonderful interactive map called You Are Here. And that can be found by going to a wonderful organization that I'm a volunteer at called the Sane Energy Project. They're on Facebook, and they also have a website, saneenergyproject.org. Now, why is this important? Well, there is something called fracking, which affects our water, and since we need water to grow crops with, and also livestock drinks water, this is something that is really affecting us at the very, very basic level. But I want to share something with you that I found on the foodnotfracking.org website to help empower you and your communities. Now, if you don't know what fracking is, here it is very briefly, Fracking 101. Fracking is a high pressure forcing of upward of 900 carcinogenic chemicals into shale, into bedrock, to force natural gas to come out. What this does is that it cracks the shale and it poisons aquifers. So imagine all those chemicals like benzene and toluene, etc., going into a water supply. If you know anything about the way we get our water and the way things work geologically, rivers are really fed by aquifers. So aquifers are kind of like underwater rivers pretty far down underneath the earth. So we don't want to poison that. We want to keep that clean as possible. So that's what fracking is in a nutshell. Um, as consumers, we have the power to influence growers, producers, and policymakers, and we suggest that you do that. More and more people are demanding food that is free of pesticides and GMOs, so it's only logical to want food that's unsullied by fracking chemicals as well. So you can start by looking in your own refrigerator. You know, pull it out, look at the label, you'll see that there's usually an 800 number or a customer service number on there that you can call to ask questions. So where does your food come from? Ask them, where does this food come from? Is it grown or packaged in areas where fracking may occur? One of the best ways to have an immediate impact is to call the manufacturer and ask them that very question. And experience has shown that it can take only a projected 5% loss of sales to make a company change their behaviors. So your dollars, you know, are very powerful. Your purchasing power is very powerful. And if you're the head of the household, you're, you know, the lady or even the dad these days that's doing the shopping, you want to make sure that what you're feeding your family is actually going to promote health and not be to their detriment. So wherever you shop, you can ask for the store manager and ask the store manager where their produce and meat comes from and if they know if fracking is happening there. If you use a delivery service like Fresh Direct, you can write an email to their customer support team. But basically you want to try and get a conversation going. Most likely the store manager may never have heard of fracking. So that's an opportunity for you to explain what it is, tell them that you're concerned because it's something that's happening all over the United States, Pennsylvania, Ohio, New York State, Colorado, California, the list kind of goes, Louisiana, the list goes on and on. So it's affecting definitely our food supply. And as a smart shopper, you want to know where this food is coming from. Also, you consider buying direct from farmers at farmers markets or through CSAs. CSAs, that's an acronym for Community Sustainable Agriculture. So that's when a group of people or a community gets together and they have a direct relationship with a farmer, maybe a couple of farmers, and they buy in bulk. They make a payment once every 6 months, or usually twice a year at the beginning of each season, summer, fall, winter, and the farmer brings the food directly to you, and then you do the pickup. So you want to ask your farmer, is this affecting you? Have they leased their land? How do they feel about fracking? Remember, they're depending on you and your dollars for their livelihood. If you know of a product or a farm that produces delicious non-GMO food, and if you believe it to be safe for fracking, let us know. Let the foodnotfracking.org people know. You can make a comment. They're compiling a list of suppliers that they hope to release as a shopping guide to consumers, and they'd be thrilled to have such a committed farm as an alliance member. You can also contact the Northeast Organic Farming Association. The acronym for that is NOFA, NY, NOFA/NY, and the New York Farmers Market Federation, and tell them you want frack-free food. Obviously, if you live in another state, you probably have a similar organization. You can do the same. You also can call or write your state and your national elected officials and request them to fund studies and pass laws to protect consumers from fracked food. You can contact your county health department and ask them what they are doing to prevent food from being contaminated by fracking. Because again, remember, if the cows are drinking this water, it's going into their milk. It's going into their bodies. If farmers are using fracked water or wastewater for irrigation, well, that's going to the vegetables, and you are what you eat, and that is going to affect you. And lastly, start conversations with friends and families and neighbors to spread the concept of food not fracking. You can also like the Facebook page, Food Not Fracking, and you can share it on your wall, maybe say a few words about it, and join in on the conversation. Now, apropos to this, if you are in New York City, on July 26th from June 2nd, there is a great new film called RUNOFF that is being shown at Village East Cinemas. I'm going to pull up the address for you. It is a presentation, it's a screening and a conversation with Slow Food NYC and the Sane Energy Project. Again, Tuesday, June 3rd, 7:10 p.m. The address is 189 2nd Avenue in New York City. That's downtown. I think that's about 12th Street. And there's going to be Q&A afterwards with Jennifer Gordon from Slow Food, Kim Fraschek from the Sane Energy Project, Patrick Robbins from the Sane Energy Project, Kimberly Levin, who's actually the writer and the director of RUNOFF, so the filmmaker, and then the host, Paul McGinnis, for the New York Green Advocate. So that is my food, water, planetary, empowering message for you today, because this is going to be the legacy that we leave our children and our grandchildren. Thank you very much. Bye-bye now. This is Ekayani Chamberlin with The Living Connection. Be well and be smart.